Greet.
Welcome to our church. We love our neighbors.
Welcome.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Tarpon Springs and our virtual service. We are so glad that you found us today. My name is Betty Lou Cummins, and I am pleased to be your service associate today. I'm also so happy and honored to be a part of Reverend Kristina's first service with us as minister of our church. It is a happy day. If you've had the chance to attend the Sunday morning service at our location at 230 Grand Boulevard in Tarpon Springs, you know that you are warmly greeted by everyone you meet. We will be so happy to see you all there when we can do so again in person. Until then, we offer a warm welcome to you now as we are together in our virtual reality. With the current events of the world around us and during these times of social distancing, being part of a warm and caring community is so very important. We would love to get to know you better. Check our website, uutarpon.org, to find some of the many interesting virtual groups that you will surely find appealing. We would love to meet you there. Our mission statement reads, "We are a liberal community for all ages, promoting spiritual growth, social justice, and the arts. We welcome all thoughtful people to journey through life's mystery with us. Whatever your religious background or current belief, whatever your race, ethnicity, sexual or gender identity, lifestyle, or circumstances. With us, may you walk the way of holiness and happiness, justice and service, and through your time in our presence, may you feel the blessings of love. As a congregation, we seek to create a diverse and accepting community based on the principles of our faith, Unitarian Universalism, bound together as we are in voluntary loyalty. We believe that we need not think alike to love alike. And now let us come to the silence and this moment with our chalice lighting.
Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy.
And now, Reverend Kristina will offer a story for all ages.
This story is considered to be a wisdom story of either Chinese or Taoist tradition. It begins. There once was a farmer. One day, the farmer's only horse broke out of its corral and ran away. The farmer's neighbors, all hearing of the horse running away, came to the farmer's house to view the corral. As they stood there, the neighbors all said, "Oh, what bad luck!" To which the farmer replied, "Good luck? Bad luck? Too soon to tell." About a week later, the horse returned, bringing with it a herd of wild horses, which the farmer and his son quickly corralled. The neighbors, hearing of this, came to see for themselves. As they stood there looking at the corral filled with horses, the neighbors said, "Oh, what good luck!" To which the farmer replied, "Good luck? Bad luck? Too soon to tell." The following week, the farmer's son was breaking in one of the wild horses when it kicked out and he broke his leg. The neighbors came and said, "Oh, what bad luck again!" To which the farmer replied, "Good luck? Bad luck? Too soon to tell." At the same time, there was a war going on between two rival warlords. The warlord of the farmer's village was involved in this war. In need of more soldiers, he sent one of his captains to the village to conscript young men to fight in the war. When the captain came to take the farmer's son, he found the young man with his broken leg. Knowing there was no way the son could fight, the captain left him there. The neighbors, hearing of the son not being taken to fight in the war, all came to see him. As they stood there, each one said, "Oh, what good luck!" To which the farmer replied, "Good luck? Bad luck? Too soon to tell."
Sing the Funyang song, sing it loud and long. With drums and cymbals we sing the Funyang song. This is a song we can sing the whole day long. We strike the gong to the Funyang song. Flower drummer Funyang yi ho ya. 织你上飘一飘，织你上飘一飘，织飘织飘织飘织飘飘织飘你上飘一飘，飘飘织织飘飘飘织织飘。
At this time, we'll have some words of inspiration from Reverend Kristina.
Our words for inspiration today come from Reverend Melissa Carvel-Ziemer. Yesterday, I had a plan. I worked so hard to follow the plan, then went to sleep, exhausted. This morning, I woke up knowing my plan was not sustainable. Even if it were sustainable, the headlines of the day reminded me that this is a time to hold any plan very lightly. I thought of taking time to strategize with new knowledge and new circumstances, but decided to read some poetry instead. Wisława Szymborska. She reminded me that there are many possibilities. This is a hard time, there is no doubt. Life has changed dramatically for every single one of us. Fear and anxiety are intimate companions. Sorrow, anger, and confusion are streaming worldwide. These things are already true. But Szymborska reminded me we can hold multiple truths and that there are many possibilities. It is possible we will find ways to keep blessing each other through the hard times. Creativity and courage are in abundant supply. Generosity is bubbling up everywhere and inspiring more generosity. Old truths are becoming new again as we remember the power of individual sacrifice for the common good. We are remembering that we are deeply interconnected, that we depend on one another for our very lives. It is possible we will remember these things for a long time to come. Right now, my children are planting seeds. Who knows what the summer will bring? Many things are possible. Beloved, all in all, help us to have faith in life-giving possibilities. May we pay attention and give thanks for the good we find. And may we keep finding ways to give ourselves sustainably to the flourishing of the good.
unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
At this time, the offering for the work and welfare of this church will now be given and received. Please go to our website, uutarpon.org, and click on the donate button or mail your check to 57 Reed Street. The entire address is right there on your screen. And thank you.
'Tis the gift to be simple, 'tis the gift to be free, 'tis the gift to come down where you ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, it will be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. To turn 'twill be our delight, till by turning we come round right. 'Tis the gift to be humble, 'tis the gift to be kind, 'tis the gift to leave all selfishness behind. May we always be gentle and always be wise, and learn to see through another's eyes. When things don't happen as we plan, may we learn to adapt as best as we can, by yielding and bending to whatever comes along. We embrace the singing of a brand new song.
At this time, Reverend Kristina will give us the message of the day.
Thank you, Bonnie. I was laid off from a job in 2009. It was a job with an industrial supply company, and in 2009, the economy was taking a huge downturn, especially in the industrial mechanical sector. During my few years there, I had begun to sense an internal shift. The work had been enjoyable, but was no longer satisfying. The timing was good luck, bad luck, too soon to tell. Losing my job hadn't been the plan, but I chose to make the best of the situation that I could. I knew the shift I'd been feeling was away from what I had been doing, but wasn't really sure what the shift was drawing me to. I had graduated from a local university and my interests had been diverse. And yet I had been called away from the work the degrees I had earned would have led me to follow. In my newly freer time, I decided to seek some career counseling. I showed up for my appointment and met my guide. She came with a variety of tools, computer tests to values cards ranking. And at the end of 3.5 hours, the most time I've ever spent with anyone, and we've done everything I have to offer. Her assessment was this: You are really good at a few things and very good at others. What you need to do is to find something you love. That's all I can tell you. It sounded like a fortune cookie, and essentially I walked out with what I'd come in with. Disappointed that the answer wasn't clearer, I spent some time in discernment and felt my heart was in addiction recovery and treatment. Applications sent off to another university for graduate studies, and I was accepted. And then, as it so often happens, life happened. I started a new job that was busy and had a decent learning curve, and applying for the program got put off. I'll give you 3 guesses how it went after that. I don't assign good luck or bad luck to things that happen, and I do not say that everything happens for a reason. And one of my core beliefs about humans is that we are storytelling, meaning-seeking, meaning-making creatures. We use stories to help us make sense of our lives and the world. That's part of why I chose Reverend Melissa Carville-Zemer's reflection for the words for inspiration today. The idea of possibility, even in understanding the past or the present and the stories we have about them, can be a helpful one for us as we navigate through life. Always after the fact, I can find myself laughing about how upset I can get when my plans go awry. It is never funny at the time. But when I'm not in a rush or worried about something important, I notice how ridiculous it can be. Literally every piece of fiction or nonfiction, every book, every movie, every article, every graphic novel is interesting because something somehow didn't go as planned. And these moments, and all moments, are always ground for possibility. To that point, I was rewatching Moana recently and noticed that the plan for her was to become the chief, according to her parents. The rub, she is feeling a call to the water. The story, quickly, is that she is charged with finding Maui, demigod of the earth and sea, to return the heart of Te Fiti that he had stolen. How it works out? Moana finds Maui, not according to the plan, must go on adventures with Maui before he can do his duty, not according to the plan, and then she is the one who completes the task, also not according to the plan. To boot, she's really only able to complete her task because of all the things that didn't go as planned and helped her learn and grow into that role, and even helped her learn to become a better chief. Every disappointment and every joy was a possibility. Moana's story is definitely another iteration of the Time for All Ages tale about good luck, bad luck, too soon to tell. Growing up, my mother used to say, "Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans." The older I've gotten, the more I've found this frustrating in its truth. This phrase came to mind one day recently when, you guessed it, things weren't going quite the way I had expected. I had to remind myself to have some grace. My route to becoming your minister was as not straightforward as Moana's journey to restore the heart of Te Fiti. I started seminary in 2012. Everyone asked what type of ministry I was expecting to focus on, and my answer was consistent. My first call was chaplaincy, and I expected to minister in a variety of contexts by the end of my career. I just didn't expect for so much change in so little time. Following seminary, during which I also worked for 2 years as a part-time director of religious education, and 2 years half-time as an intern and sabbatical minister, I returned to what I felt to be the call on my heart, chaplaincy. I did 2 additional years of training called clinical pastoral education at the Northeast Ohio Veterans Administration Medical Center. In my time there, I was able to work with populations I already felt called to serve. Those in substance use disorder recovery, those with mental illnesses, those in hospice and palliative care, as well as those in other programs. In my second year, I was able to continue in palliative care and working with those with mental illnesses, and also widened my care to our geriatric veterans, as well as those with dementia and cognitive impairments. I loved my work. I felt so connected with my call. My contract there ended, and I found a staff chaplain position that meant moving to Central Eastern Pennsylvania. I had done 2 years of chaplaincy under supervision. I was ready for this, more than ready. And this was a chance to further expand my skills and knowledge, adding working with trauma patients and their families, as well as ICU assignments, including neurosurgery, to my portfolio, and settle me into my career. Plot twist! Although the first workplace and assignments had been a wonderful fit for me, the second workplace and assignments were not. I have felt disconnected from my call. I've been in discernment about what happened for some time now, and thoughts that chaplaincy wasn't my call at all were strong for some time. Then I realized it wasn't the call that was off, it was the place and other factors related to it. And perhaps my call wasn't specifically chaplaincy, but something about the type of work that I was most drawn to. I'm still not sure. And I know this time in this work was a possibility. And even though it wasn't what I had planned or hoped, it's offering me possibilities still as I continue to learn and grow and answer the call on my heart. An important lesson in all of this for me is how important it is to be on this journey, wherever we are going, whatever our plan is, with people who we can work with, who share our values and principles, who want to grow together. Ministry can never thrive in a vacuum, nor can I. What I know now is that the level of care needed for me to do ministry where I was unsustainable. The thought of leaving the hospital, though, felt like a failure to me, that somehow I should have been able to do it, that leaving would mean I hadn't done my job, that I hadn't felt my calling right. And as a highly intuitive person, this was heartbreaking. How could I not know what my calling was? There's a scene in the most recent Charlie's Angel movie where one of the angels is fighting this cold professional killer guy. She says to him, "You thought you beat me twice before?" "No, I was learning." I won't lie, the movie isn't great, but that line struck me. I forget in our once and done, product-driven world that we get to learn, and things don't necessarily happen smoothly the first time. So what? We are learning. And the we is just as important to me as the learning. Friends and colleagues both encouraged me to think about parish ministry. I had deeply enjoyed my time with my teaching congregation, and they continue to do work that we started together during my time there. As I was posting my ministerial record, the words, "This wasn't the plan," came to mind and have repeated since. It's true. This wasn't the plan. So what? "Do you know what your grandfather always used to say?" my mom asked one day after he died. I was opening my mouth to get the answer out. There was no question about the thing that my grandfather used to say. But before I could, she replied, It's not the speed, but the direction. I never heard him say this, but it was a strange comfort to hear these words that he had said many times as a man who had many struggles in his life. It's not the speed, but the direction. And to me, as important as the direction is, are those we journey with. We are wired and built for connection, and we need each other in the best of times and the worst of times. If not personally, I know that in terms of church life, you too have experienced quite a lot of "this wasn't the plan" in the last few years. Discovering sinkholes under the buildings in need of extensive repair, finally getting back into the building and Reverend Bob retiring at the end of last year, and then the novel coronavirus, altering not just church, but almost every aspect of everyone's lives. And those are just the big things that I know about. While it is instinctual to look for answers in times of stress and things not going as planned, when we feel unanchored and adrift, and this can be helpful, one of the other primary ways that we cope with change is by turning to others for support. We turn to our families, if we have them, to friends, to our church family, and other communities that we belong to. The people who share our days and our hearts, those who keep us grounded and assured. Right now, that church family is a mix of mostly familiar to you folks, each other, and someone new, specifically me. I have lots of ideas for things we can try together, and I bet you do too. And other ideas will probably also arise from our sharing ideas together. Some of it will go smoothly, and some of it likely will not go as planned. It's all good. We'll be learning, and we'll be learning together. We have at least 1 year to experiment and imagine together, and I'm looking forward to finding out what happens, what works, and what could use some work. May we, you all and me, be open to the possibilities of what our time together holds and unfolds. As a congregation, you are all already doing so much well. Your leadership has done a wonderful job arranging to make sure the congregation is cared for physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually during these particularly difficult months. We will continue to lean on each other as we move forward. May we remember when things get rough that it is not the speed, but the direction that matters. And even more so than that, that we are moving together.
Our final hymn is "When Our Heart is in a Holy Place." When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell our story from darkened side, and we listen with our loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place,
We are blessed with love and amazing grace when our heart is in a holy place. When we share the silence, a sacred space, and the God of our heart stirs within, and we feel the power of each other's faith, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place.
At this time, Betty Lou will give us some closing words, and then we'll close out our service with Go Now in Peace.
Our closing words are by John Brigham. Go your ways, knowing not the answers to all things, yet seeking always the answer to one more thing than you know.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the light of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you